Okay, welcome to the Real Estate Agent Podcast, episode 48. Today, Jonathan and I are on, and I want to go a little about the background, Jonathan, before we start going into detail. I'm creating some products for both real estate agents and other folks on like how to podcast, how to netcast, how to use some of these tools or digital learning tools. So that's what I've been working on hard, but I've had to pull back on all the podcasts that we've been working on. And Jonathan will be taking lead on this show in about 3 or 4 episodes. Primarily, I'll come on from time to time, but he's actually going through the training to do the editing and the backside of the podcast, which as long as you don't do one a day and go crazy like I was going, it's very manageable to do 1 or 2 podcasts a week. Right, Jonathan?
Yeah.
And you know what we should have done, though? We should have told people what we're going to talk about today in the next few sessions. It's going to be about Zillow.
It certainly is. The monster, the portal.
Yeah, the most important thing you need to tell people right off the bat when you start a podcast or your show or episode.
The multi-headed Medusa.
Is what we're talking about, Zillow. And is it Zillow? We're going to talk about, should you use Zillow? And if you're going to use Zillow, what do you need to do? So it's going to be multi-parts because there's so much. We just went in, and I'm going to tell a little story. But before I tell a story, Jonathan, we were just trying to find, how did you do on finding what their product actually is online when you're Googling it?
I mean, prices, don't you, Bill? What they actually charge?
What they charge, not just what they charge, but what they actually do. What are they selling?
I totally failed, Bill.
Well, we're paying $320 a month. My wife is. I'm on her team now on the backside. And we've had it a month.
I think it depends on what area and if they like you, Bill.
No, you can't find it, though, either. I mean, first of all, I'm not against or for Zillow at this time. I can tell you they're as slick can be towards selling you a product, though, because I've been at this for a while.
They got that down to you, haven't they?
They have definitely got it down to a science. In fact, I talked to some people. I believe one of the guys from Water Cooler may have worked for them or somebody like them and talks about the process you go to of selling.
No, you're talking about Chris. He worked for Quicken Loan for a while.
Well, that's just the same thing.
Kind
it's
of
pretty close. It's tough. They're going out to consumers, but not quite the same. So let me tell a story. First of all, my wife is working as a broker, both brokers. I'm a broker in California. She's a broker here in Nevada and California. She is getting established in Reno. Everybody in her office, which is Chase International, she's a broker in Chase. She's a broker. They call it salesperson here, and it's an affiliate in California, broker affiliate. But she's actually a broker of her own company in California. But that said, she's having a tough time getting established in Reno. It's hard to reestablish when you're about 50. And we're going to throw some gasoline on it. We're going to get going. We're looking at Zillow because we've had good luck with Zillow in the past on leasing properties in California, things of that nature, but we never bought into it. The other thing, I want to tell you a short story. I eventually will set up an office which looks like an Apple store with 2 iMacs in the front, like a Genius Bar and nice tall desk, and a Genius Bar and back in a conference room, and get 3 teams in there. So we will definitely use Zillow. Also, when I was overseas, the young officers and people, when they get into Bagram, were using Zillow. So Zillow is out there. The consumer is going to Zillow more than anywhere else, as far as I know. What do you think, Jonathan?
Totally. It's the biggest portal in the real estate industry by far.
Yep. And what they're doing is they're grabbing all those consumers coming in. They get accounts set up and they get inquiries because you have to have an email. It's sort of like the ultimate lead generator for email generator and getting emails, right?
It's just a digital newspaper. It's just like a broker used to have to spend like $5,000-$10,000 on newspaper adverts. They just become the modern online kind of newspaper website. Like in the old days, you used to have to throw tons of money at your local newspaper, didn't you, Bill?
Right. No, we didn't actually we used a little bit of newspaper. We're gradually in the 90s and 2003 and 4 and 5 when I was back, we were backing off the newspaper. We were using definitely the real estate book, the big book. We had the middle columns on both sides. That was excellent for listing presentations. But still, the internet, even back then, was still a place to really find houses. Yeah. Even back then. But that said, now more than ever, it's easy on Zillow. But we're going to go to break in a couple minutes. We're going to finish up on the Zillow. Before we go to break, we'll tell you what we did, and we'll tell you what to watch out for before you buy into Zillow. But one thing I'm going to say, Jonathan, you still didn't find out what the services and prices were and what they do for real estate agents.
No, I haven't looked for a while, and I did a quick Google, and I couldn't get anything.
Well, we're paying 320. I'm still not sure of all the services they do and what they exactly do. But one thing I will tell you what they do is they take the IDX, they take all the real estate agents' listings and they take them, they put them into their system and they market out to the consumer. And then from the consumer, they lead generate back to the agents, some of the premium people, but they also do impressions. That's another thing they do. But they're basically using our stuff, the broker stuff, to make money. And I think they're making a lot of money.
Oh, a ton of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
And $320 more this month than last month.
Yep. Yep.
With that, let's go to a break. Okay, folks, coming off the break, we're going to go into what you should do before you get into Zillow. And bottom line is my wife and I were on the phone cleaning up her accounts. She had 4 accounts. All I want to do is clean them up. And I had mine semi-cleaned up. I wanted to see what to do. We're both in the room together. And we basically, they're so slick on their sales. Before we knew it, we were into a $320 impression account. Now, I normally would not do that. And I would not recommend to do what I did. And if I could, I would have turned it off the next day, but we'd already signed and it was over a weekend. And I'll tell you what, it took them a while to get things working right because they didn't get rid of all accounts. It took like 2 weeks for them to get rid of all accounts. But they would have done that for free before I bought if I just asked. And I should have done that. And that's the first lead in. Get to one account and get rid of your other accounts.
You'd be surprised how quick they act if before you say, I want you to sort all this out before I sign the dotted line, folks. You'd be surprised how quickly it'll all be done.
I love what you just said. I want to sort of, I'm sure the person talking to us, but we called tech support to fix this, right? And it was really sales support. And they were good at sales. They're really good. They're as good as they get, folks. I mean, they're like real estate agents on steroids. They're top producers to be there. So they're going to know all the little whistles and bells. They said, I'm from New York. I tell you what it is. Zillow is the place to be. So, but what they need to tell you is you need to set up your account. You need to get down to one account.
Are you suggesting, Bill, that I adopt a New York accent and say, this Millwright, this is the place to be? Are you suggesting that, Bill?
I think it would work. Well, it wasn't a New York accent. It was a female, and she did really well. She's calling that Irvine. And she did do well, but she didn't do everything that she said she was going to do because it was gone to the next sale and send us over to tech support. And one thing I will say, I'm pretty pleased when I talk to, there's a couple of people, it's like good guy, bad guy in the organization. We have like an account executive who is doing an excellent job. And then he hooks into technology. But I think, you know, when I create a YouTube of all the problems we're having and I post it up on our YouTube account and I send it to him, that really got good effects, Jonathan.
I bet.
It's up on YouTube right now. Maybe I'll link that. I'll link it to the show. How's that?
Yeah.
So that said, Jonathan, go into a little more detail. What do you see? You see a lot of new. I love what I've seen last year. You've gone from really not knowing real estate to actually knowing the agent from an outside perspective because you have a product called mail-right.com. So what have you seen the problems with real estate agents with LinkedIn, all these different accounts? What do they need to do?
Well, they have multiple accounts, you know, especially if they've got over the first 2 rough years and they've moved brokerages. A lot of people, they start off with a particular brokerage, then they develop and they move on to another brokerage that suits their more experience. So they tend to end up with multiple. What they tend to do, Bill, is end up with multiple accounts everywhere. Multiple LinkedIn accounts, multiple Facebook pages, multiple Twitter accounts, accounts that are linked to previous brokerages. They've got accounts everywhere.
A mess.
And they can't remember the passwords. For God's sake, get a password.
There's only 2 out there.
LastPass and 1Password.
Yep. Get one of those, baby. And LastPass is free, basically. It costs you $12 a year if you buy the advanced one.
Yeah. And basically get rid of all these Facebook, you know, have one LinkedIn. And before you start spending money with Zillow, get them to sort everything out. Get them to remove all these multiple Zillow accounts. And you'd be surprised how quickly it will, before you sign on the digital doco line, your $320, you'd be surprised how quickly all this will be sorted out before you sign, folks.
You had a pretty good line. What was that line? You said something like, okay, I'm really interested. I want to use Zillow, but I want to get all these squared away first. I guarantee you they're going to throw all sorts of little things at you.
I would be surprised it would have been all sorted out in 2 days.
If you hold firm, just hold firm. So what do you need to sort out? We know that you need to get down to 1 account, and my wife had 4, and I think I only had 1, and I've kept that and I've converted it, which is good. She also accidentally got a consumer's account, which was really screwy, and that took a hard time to get rid of that. I even after we were paying, it took a while to get rid of that. So the next thing we talk about you can do is get your bio updated. Get your bio updated.
Write it, relook at it. Don't rush into knocking something up. It might be, it might be a good idea to hire somebody, a professional that can make it a bit punchy. Having a second set of eyes that know what they're doing and writing something. It might be worthwhile actually if the budget will allow you. Especially if you're going to spend $320 a month. I would suggest getting a good copywriter to have a look over it and punch it up a bit. Might be a good idea.
Sounds like a good service to create.
Well, it depends on, a lot of people won't pay, but I think if you're serious about it, good photos, you told me you can put as many, I would get some decent photos done and get them on there. It's a visual medium. Get as much detail filled in before you sign your doc signature on the year contract, which they will get you to sign for
6 months or a year.
Get it
$5 for 6 months.
Get them to help you and get all this squared away. Get everything filled in as much as possible, and obviously the more positive reviews you can generate before you sign the document, the better that is as well.
That's number 3. Go out, honestly. Number 3, you go out, because it doesn't make a difference if you got paid or not paid, and get the testimonials. Go get the testimonials, and they've got a lot of training that's free too to show you how to get the testimonials. Now there are some services they give you a website if you have this Premier thing, but I don't really need their website.
No, they throw that in, and
I don't want it. That means I got to pay $320 a month for a website if I want to get out someday.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's their website, not yours. And if you decide, that's why they offer it, folks. Because it's another thing that will keep you coughing up the $320+ a month.
And you don't need a website. I mean, somebody might, but I don't know.
Yeah, we provide a website, but our base service is $9 a month, folks.
You got a good deal. Yours is good.
So I wouldn't take that up. I would, if you're going to go down that route, I think you're better off having your own website that you control and pointing it to that rather than theirs.
Okay, Jonathan, we're going to do probably at least 3 episodes on Zillow. Now, let me tell you how I feel right now. I'm going to end the podcast, but for those who want to go over to wp-tonic.com or podcastershome.com, you can buy my podcasting product.
I think you meant to say mail-right.com.
Well, you can go to wp-tonic or mail-right.com. WP is a good place too if you want the tech side. You got a good. If you want to get on steroids and you're a broker, you might want to use DigitalOcean. How's that?
That freak them out, wouldn't it, Bill? They never recover, will they?
DigitalOcean's good. And you set it and forget it, It's basically your serving process. But now we're getting back on another tech show. But let's get back to finishing this show. Jonathan, anything else you want to say? I want to say one thing, a disclosure. I think I'd still buy into Zillow, but not right away. And I'm not out. We're less than a month. My wife has got one great lead. And the next episode, we're going to talk about how to get those referrals. I'm also to talk more about what you can do before you go into Zillow. For example, you don't know it, but you can, if you have a listing, you can upload your listing, a video of your listing in Zillow for free, on the free account, and it'll drive you to the very top in Zillow for that listing in that area. That's huge.
It is. And it's really video. They act very like Google. If you can get video up, Because a lot of agents aren't doing that, folks.
It's not that hard either.
And it's not that hard. And it's exactly the same with Facebook and YouTube and Google Plus. They like video, and a lot of people don't do it. So that's why you should do it. Everything.
Hey, John, this is supposed to be like 11 to 12 minute podcast, and we're going to be like 14 or 15. So we're going to stay on for a few minutes, record, go over to mail-right.com or podcastershome.com, episode 48. And go ahead and watch the video, because what I'm going to do in the video is I'm going to put up some sites, and Jonathan and I are going to sort of blab about them, talk about them.
Idea.
Good cut, Jonathan. Let's leave it going for a while, for about another 5 minutes. That'll be a good show. I'm going to edit that quite a bit. I'll edit that today. I'll put that up right away as soon as it's edited.
Oh, yeah.
Let me just pull up a couple pages on here. And we're still broadcasting. Hi, folks out there who are rejoining us back on our sites. Jonathan is going to be editing this thing next month, I think. What do you think, Jonathan?
Well, we've got to discuss it, because, we're not recording this, are we?
Yeah, we're recording right now. People can watch us.
I mean, you're not going to use it for the podcast.
No, but no, we'll not be. We're not doing any podcasting now. This will be on the YouTube for folks. So let me.
Yeah, whatever, Bill.
Let me pull up Karen's paid account for starters. There is her paid account right there. That's the paid account. Okay, so you go in the paid account. Basically, you go into this profile. See if I remember. The thing is, it takes a while. You're going to have to spend some time on this, getting it going. So I've got to get over to her paid account. And I've got a gazillion windows open right now. And I've got to get to her dash. Where is she? Where did that go? Jonathan, I can't find her. Oh my gosh.
She's gone, is she?
No, she's in the very back. I've got like 7 or 8 windows open. I'm on a iMac. There she is. I'm looking at her source. So we're going to look at her profile right here. Now, she's not a new agent. She's been around 25 years. And we're cleaning it up right here. You can put this video edit here. I'm going to show you mine when it's just free. And we need to do one for just her. But this is like the agent's video. And it's very important to get one up there because it helps search. But she does have them she's got her listing up right now. And it really is making a difference. So that's her address, all the information. This is stuff. And here she had 4 accounts, right? She didn't have any of this filled out. These are all the zip codes that you're going to watch. And then you have language. So you do all this stuff ahead of time for sure. I just want to show you what her site looks like. So that's the back side. So what is a Premier account? So first of all, it says Premier up here. See Premier? Mm-hmm. That's Premier Agent. They're not going to really tell you what's in it. But that's sort of her, it gives you, this is her like management side. And they go into training in detail. We won't go a lot now. They say you should return a call within 2 minutes. And you do get some calls. And this takes some time. This is your CRM basically in the backside, which is part of it. I have no idea. Here's the team rounding. I mean, this is the backside of her Premier account. So here's a lead that she got right here, May 4th, which is old.
Now the
these are leads right here, by the way.
Now with the leads, do you normally get email plus phone number? Plus what?
You do. You get email and a good email and a phone number. So you can grab all those. Now I want to show you down here. If you show April, this is unknown. This is when it started. These are tests. But if you go back here, I think she goes back. No, this is the new account. Oh no, this is interesting. These are some of the lease accounts. That's one of our tenants. But anyway, that's what she's got in a month on some basic leads. Not all those leads. There are only about 3 or 4 leads. Mm-hmm. So this is enough for now. But it's basically you get a little contact, and they do impressions. They give you, I think she has 15,000 impressions. So what is an impression? And that's her contacts right there. So these are the new contacts she's received. And one of them, this is actually good. She met with this person and showed houses. These are going to be mostly buyers. But you got to work. You got to get with them right away. We got a call at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And one agent called them back because they'll hit more than one agent. But anyway, there's a lot to it. So you got to learn this stuff and play with it. I mean, it's like anything else. It takes some time.
Yeah.
And impressions is the main thing. So let's go back to her. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Agent Hub, back to Agent Hub. I want to look at our listing. This is our one listing right now. You need to be a broker in Reno, you need about 3 listings at any one time to get some production. We used to carry 11 to 12 in our team in California. But here's the video right here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see it's a real simple video. You can see your listing is getting a lot of 77 views, more views than most. Similar listings, it's getting more listings. And it's at the very top. I want to bring up, here's what I want to do. 89523. So if I bring up 89523, it's going to do sort of that area. So this is our area. The house is down in here. And what it does is, see the agent right there? Even though we're on her account, I just sorted this. It brought another agent up.
Yeah.
And I have to refresh this. Her account didn't come up early, but it does often come up early if I went in a generic account.
But one tip I would give folks is, I've noticed a lot is with the agents that like got 50, 60 reviews, I do go in and read them, and it's pretty obvious, not all of them, but a high proportion, a lot of them are not genuine reviews. It's pretty obvious that they've been written by friends or themselves.
Really? On this platform, Jonathan?
Yeah, and they probably use different devices with different IP addresses, but it's still obvious. A lot of the agents, the email addresses aren't kosher. They haven't got proper names. Just look at that, and I think a lot of your millennium types, they know it, and you're doing yourself a disfavor actually.
You say that, Jonathan, though. And one thing I will say, though, is if you don't have anything in there and a millennium sees like no stars or anything or nothing, they say, well, this person really doesn't know anything about social media.
Yeah, I think it's a balance, Bill. But I also feel that when an agent's got 120 positive reviews and they haven't got one negative of any sort, that's not realistic.
By the way, here's LastPass, folks. If you see it, that's how LastPass works. See, I don't want to show the passwords, but that's LastPass. And I have 2 accounts there, Karen and mine. We only have 1 account. And I'm going to go ahead and log into mine. So I want to show you what mine looks like. So my Agent Hub looks pretty much like hers. Mm-hmm. It's all about the same. And I'm underneath her one thing I did do is sign up as a team underneath her. I'm not sure if you could do that unless you get one person paying. I'm not positive. A team is the way to go, because everything I do builds up to her. Any referrals I get goes up into her as the lead. So it's really designed for a small brokerage team system.
Right.
And what you want to do, see, I have no listings, advanced posts. I apparently have a post, but you want to go into your Agent Hub and you want to get your profile all set up. And this is my profile. I need to do a little video in here myself. I should maybe put a...
So what we're saying, folks, is before you dive into the paid site and speak to one of their fantastic technical but sales representatives that says everybody in New York uses Zillow, you really want to go to their education, and you need to fill this in.
Okay, see right here, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Here's what you need to do. You need to have all this filled in.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you. This is what you need to do. You need to get 5 or more past clients to review you. Yeah. Connect all your listings, which I've done. I just not like. Add your past sales. Karen's done that. I'm going to show you Karen's. Team with a lender, which we probably won't do for a while. And this is where you pay. This is pay. And add a photo about me, which I've already done. You can see I've done that. I don't know why it's not giving me credit. So the link, apparently I can do some links in here, but you need to work this list, and this list is under profile. Now this is a free account. This is a free, and you notice I've got Karen's got 3 reviews, and I've got like 1 review. So I have 1 review, and that's Susan Hernandez, who actually is my sister. But we actually do a lot of work for the family. Right. So it's legit. But that's the one review. I need to get more reviews.
Yes.
So there's a process to getting out reviews. You got to send them out. I was doing this last week. I got to refresh my brain.
This is the whole point, folks. It's surely you can pre-plan and get 5 quality reviews. Any agent should be able to get 5 reviews. I just say they did some work for me, blah blah blah. But get 5.
Jonathan, you can give me a review and say what a great broker I am in knowing the business.
I will do that, Bill. Amazingly, I will do that for you.
Do that next, and then Karen will get credit for it. So, yeah. And then Karen, I'm a team member, and I'm just all free. So basically, you can do everything. There's a lot to do free, and we went to Karen. That's her listing again.
But you must fill all this in and look at the verbiage, look at your competitors, be honest about how good their verbiage is, have good shots, good pictures, and sort all this out.
Now on the free account, this is the link that you send people right here. See, you send a link. You can't see it because it's like down below. Let's see if I can move it. You can see it's on the top. There's a link up there. You send them that link. So you write the review from right here. This is the link you send to people to write a review.
Yeah.
And
but you'd be amazed, aren't you, Bill? I'm amazed. I had to look at. I'm not picking on them, but I looked at quite a lot of Chase International's agents. I would say that over 70% of them haven't got even a semi-filled in Zillow profile.
Oh, I'm going to send you this link, Jonathan. In fact, I'm going to put this link here. Anybody can write it. No, somebody can give me bad reviews. Don't do that. I want 5 stars, honestly. You say it. You do not want, if you get some bad ones, they say you got to really start going out and get 5 stars to regen. I read some of the lower stars too from people.
I slightly disagree with that, actually, Bill, but I think it's a balanced scenario. This is my position. If you've got an agent, let's say, that's got 80 to 100 5-star reviews and they've got not one 4-star or 3-star, I feel I basically start to think that it's not legit. What I don't want to see, obviously, is a pattern of similar poor reviews saying the same thing, the same problem with it.
No, that's the same words. Yeah. Actually, Jonathan, I got to send you stuff from Zillow because they tell you the different levels to work to get reviews. And we're going to do that next show. Next show, we'll talk about it in the podcast. I'll send you all the stuff about what they say. And they say, actually write out the lines for the people. And I've done that and people haven't even done it. I mean, they like Karen. But they're just like, they go to this page and it says, write a review. Mm-hmm. And I can't do it because of the professional. You could if we share it with you on that link. Yeah. You want to write? You should write a review for me. I mean, just a couple lines that say,
hey. Send me the link and I'll fill it in. Bill.
I will with a couple points. And that will help. And you see 4 pop up. But what I want to do is, before we finish up here.
Yeah. Shall we wrap up, Bill, before?
Yeah, let's put MailRight up for a second. I need to go on a different site here. Let's see Karen's site. I'm not sure which site that is. Oh, here it is. That's the right one. There you go, MailRight. So here's MailRight. We've got to talk about MailRight at the end of the show. Anything we want to say, Jonathan? Nice little commercial here.
I think we go through the review process that it helps you get more positive reviews. And in the next episode, we'll look at the back end and quickly go through how you can link it with Zillow and Trilio and Realtor.com to get more positive reviews.
And I can actually find the pricing, what you sell. Yes. I can actually figure out what you market.
Yeah. And we try and make it as simple as possible.
Folks, I'm the biggest cheerleader for that 999 account you can possibly imagine.
That's a hell of a lot of value there, isn't there, Bill?
No, I think that's an excellent product. If anything, just to get the agents, at least getting their Twitter and their Facebook at least populated every day with one story.
And MailRight's got the secret weapon, folks, meerkats.
if they don't list with you, just leave a meerkat behind. You
exactly.
Meerkat.
Have meerkats all over your website. People love them. If they don't like a meerkat, what's wrong with them?
Yeah. All right, Jonathan, that's a good take today.
See you later.
I'll have that up. One story for a day. Let's going to be a hell of a week. We need to get a couple short shows up. This is only a 15-minute show. It'll probably end up about 12, 13 minutes. So I'm going to stop broadcasting so we can just talk.